unless you pass a high school exam. That's just the way it is. And because ACN has been tested for 25 years, now it's time for our promotion. And the only way that we get promoted is if we show you how to get promoted. You see, we've been tested, you've been tested, the company's been tested, and now it's time for all of our promotions. And I'm telling you, the best days of ACN are ahead of us, and they're not behind us. There's been validation all weekend long. You've seen recognition, you've seen promotions, you've seen the service enhancements. Are you at all excited about the Flash Unlimited family plans that we came out with? And what that is going to do for you and your business. I told you in my opening remarks on Saturday that if we do $3 billion in wireless in North America, that will only capture 1% market share. Is there an opportunity at ACN in the future? We have everything ahead of us. The announcement that Tony made on Saturday, I promise you, most of you don't even know the magnitude of it. But by simplifying the comp plan and having people get an unlimited amount of outside customers and not have to talk about that one little element, do you know how significant that is going to be for you? See, let me tell you something. If you don't believe that this is real after spending the last 3 days with us and that it can offer you a real chance to do something great, I'm just going to offer you to do one thing. Just take your right hand and put it on your left wrist and you just check to see if you have a pulse. There's too much going on at ACN for you not to believe and trust in what we're doing. But more than belief and trust in ACN is you must develop a belief and trust in yourself. Because that's something that you inherently need to have. You got to have belief in yourself in order to take your business and your life to the next level. Believe that you have what it takes to succeed. Because most of us have never done anything like this before. You're not going to wake up tomorrow and have the belief in yourself that you need in order to be successful. It doesn't work that way. We all had to grow into what we're now doing. So developing belief and trust in yourself is a process. And I thought about two very basic things that I think that you need to think about as you leave here in order to develop this belief, this necessary belief that you need to have in order to be successful. And here the first thing is this: you got to feed yourself the right stuff. You got to feed your mind. You got to put the right things in. And the second thing is you got to hang around the right kind of people. Let me talk about the first thing first. Feed your mind the right stuff. Because you got to be in a constant state of personal growth and development to change and transform your mind. Why do you have to do that? Because your current level of thinking is what got you where you're at. You don't know what you don't know. On Friday, I talked about upgrading ourselves. We upgrade our cars, we upgrade our clothes, we upgrade our homes, but very few of us take the time to upgrade ourselves. We must take the time to invest in us, because anything that you do not invest in, you cannot expect a return from. Would you like to hear one of the greatest lessons I heard about this topic? The most successful people that I know work out of overflow and not overwork. They've taken the time to build up their personal reserves so they don't become depleted when they have to give out to so many people. And you will never know when a situation will arise where you need to dig into those reserves. You have to have them pre-built up in order for you to have some reserves to dig out of. Because what you have inside of you will always come out with some situation that may show up. And I just saw a very short video a couple weeks ago that shows and showcases a mom that took the time to build up her reserves when the time was needed for her to build up her son. And I want you to watch this video right now. lives be like if Thomas Edison's mom didn't have those reserves at the very time that he needed to hear something? We would not be enjoying this weekend. There would be no lights. There would be no electricity. It's important, folks. You must work out of overflow, but before you have overflow, you first got to be filled up. And you can't get filled unless you feed yourself, and feeding yourself must be something that you do intentionally. Warren Buffett to this day reads 500 pages a day. Bill Gates goes on reading vacations. Mark Zuckerberg has a once-a-week book club where now he has 2 million followers on Facebook. So it's important that you feed your mind the right stuff. Would it be too much to ask of you to read 10 pages of a good book a day? Would that be too much? How many of you would have time to read 10 pages of something good a day? Now look, I'm not talking about People magazine. Not talking about the National Enquirer. I'm talking about 10 pages of a good book a day. Look, if you read 10 pages of a good book a day, that's 3,650 pages a year. That's about 10 to 15 good books a year. Do you think that you would think a little bit better 12 months from now if you read 10 to 15 good books in 2018? So the second factor that I thought about in order to developing belief in yourself is that you have to be very selective with who you hang out with, and more importantly, who you listen to. See, better than books, better than podcasts, would be a personal mentorship by someone. And you got to seek out someone that has successfully gone where you want to go. And all you got to do is just spend time with them and pick their brain. And you got to be very selective with these people. Listen, if I was out of shape, I would never ask somebody that is overweight to be my personal trainer. I would never ask a bald person how to grow hair. I would never ask somebody that's broke their opinion about how to become wealthy. I would never do that. So you got to be intentional with your selection, because here's the reality of what's about to happen, especially the brand new people. Listen intently. When you get out of this environment, you are going to naturally want to hang out with people that you're comfortable with, instead of the people that are going to stretch you. These are the doubters and the dream stealers in your life. How do you recognize these people? They're totally non-supportive. They question why you're doing what you're doing. They'll plant seeds of doubt. They'll try to fill your head with limiting beliefs. I believe there's some of you, in fact, let me see a show of hands. How many of you had somebody in your circle of friends or family members that asked you this question? Why are you going to this event again? You've been to how many of them now? Why are you going? Dream stealers. People that don't understand the direction that you want to take your life. They want to pull you back into the box of mediocrity. They ask questions like, who do you think you are? You've never done anything like this before. What makes you think that you can do something like this? You're a mechanic, you're a housewife, you're an investment banker, you're a teacher. That company is selling you a pipe dream. Nobody ever makes it in those types of companies. And you know what? They're right. If you think how they think. And that's why you can't hang around these people. Another great lesson I've learned the hard way is this. Not everybody can go where God has taken you. You have to be selective. When things aren't adding up in your life, you must start subtracting. Don't let anybody take away what this weekend has done for you. I want you to remember this, that God gave you a purpose long before somebody had an opinion about what you're doing. And when He opens a door, you got to be very careful who you allow to walk through that door with you. So you got to turn out all the noise. You just got to ignore all the distractions. So your associations are critical to your success. My advice is to choose them wisely. So now you got belief. You got that right. Belief in ACN, and you also know what steps to take to develop personal belief. Now what? What do I want you to leave with that'll make a difference in your life so that you can be a success story at ACN? Here it is. 100% commitment. See, you got to totally commit to what you set out to do with ACN, because 99% will not get you there. I've said this for many years to all of our leaders, that 99% is like zero. You can't be 99% committed to something and have it work. You try and be 99% married and see if that works for you. So you got to be all in or you got to be all out. But this is the most difficult thing to maintain, is 100% commitment. And that's the reason why most people don't make it in any business, let alone ACN. They let life get in the way. They quit right before they win. They quit at the first sign of adversity, and they say it's not for them. And most times what you're going through is not meant to destroy you, it's meant to develop you. You got to spend, I'm going to spend a lot of time on this topic right now because this is so important. You're going to face challenges. You're going to face disappointments. This is not going to be easy. But anything that's worth anything doesn't come easy. I promise you there's going to be bad days. And you're going to get to a point, probably some of you, where you're going to question yourself of whether or not you have what it takes to win. And you know why I can confidently tell you that? Is because we questioned ourselves. We didn't know whether or not we had what it took. But sometimes there's great benefit sometimes when you have nothing to go back to. Do you understand that?
That's right.
When you just know that you have to make something work. And I'm telling you, if you're not 100% committed to the direction you want to take your life, you will always take the path of least resistance and you'll quit. Because commitment doesn't show up when things are going good. Hardships will always reveal the level of commitment that you really have. Sherry and I have been married for 36 years. This is our 37th year that we're going to be married. Yeah. And listen, every day wasn't a good day. You get her aside, you ask her. Every day wasn't a good day. Every month was never a good month. Every year was not a good year. Every season was not a good season. But does that mean you quit? No. You don't quit on someone you're committed to.
That's right.
So in relationships, you got to make sure that your commitment is stronger than your circumstance. In business, you got to make sure that your purpose is stronger than your pain. And you got to make a decision right here and right now, in advance of the pain that's going to come your way, to stay the course, to stay in the game, to keep on keeping on, no matter what. Where you draw the line, you tell yourself, I'm never going back. I'm moving forward. This time around, I'm going to break out and my family's going to live a different life from this day forward. That's the decision that you have to make. And so this whole commitment thing is absolutely huge. Without it, you'll never make it. But belief and commitment, as essential as they are, you just can't have those two things and expect to win. See, you can believe all you want. You can put stuff on your mirror and put little note cards on your car, and you can read affirmations all day long. You can keep repeating yourself, you're going to make it, you're going to do this, but if you never get around to doing ACN, all that stuff is just meaningless. Which brings me to the third and final truth that I want to bring you today. Here it is. It's very simple. You got to go to work.
That's right.
See, folks, there's 7 days in a week, and some day is not one of them. Some of you will get that later on. You got to go to work. See, the dream is free, but the journey is not. There's a verse in the Bible that says what? Faith without works is what?
Dead.
It's dead. See, if I asked every one of you whether or not you want to become a senior vice president, every single one of you would raise your hand. Well, let me tell you something. You should never wish for something that you're not willing to work for. Everybody wants to be an RVP. Everybody wants to be an SVP. The question is, are you willing to pay the necessary price to win? See, we can give you everything. We can give you the greatest compensation plan. We can give you the greatest services, the greatest enhancements, the greatest bonuses, provide the most wonderful environment that you ever asked for. We can give you everything except for one thing. We can't do it for you. See, all this is disguised as work. You ever stop to realize that God Himself has never made a table and He's never made a chair? The only thing that God made was a tree. And He left the rest up to us. So we have to do something. We have to take the resources that we've been given and actually do something. This is not get rich quick. This is not pie in the sky. You must be willing to pay the necessary price and go to work. And the only definition of work that I know at ACN is this, is you have to talk to people. You don't have to build a company like we had to build a company. All that you have to do is talk to people. And the more people you talk to, the more you'll increase your odds to be successful. The more people you talk to, the more of an opportunity you'll have to find people that are just like us. People that are just like all of us. Hungry. Are you hungry today? Do you want to be successful? Are you willing to sacrifice? Do you want more out of life? Are you willing to pay the price? So how do you find people like us? People that are willing to do those things. You got to be a professional sorter of people. And I want to give you a game plan to get you off and running as soon as you leave this arena. And I want to talk to you about 3 very simple windows of time, and then we're going to get out of here. Here we go. The first window of time I'm going to talk about is 72 hours. Now, why do I say 72 hours? Here's the reason why. It's because in all the years we've been doing this, what we found out is this, is that if you don't do something with what we've given you over the last 3 days, in the next 72 hours, all this would just be an exciting weekend that you've experienced. That's all it'll be. But if you do something in the next 72 hours, something significant will happen to you. So my suggestion to you over the next 72 hours is to make sure that your calendars are full for the week. Make sure that you know how many PBRs are going in your organization. Make sure that you have your PBR schedule. Make sure that you're talking to as many people as possible. Don't allow one day to go by where you're not going to build your business over the next 72 hours. The next window of time is the next 10 days. Why do I say 10 days? It's because we have 10 days left in February. That's it. How many of you in the room would love to have a breakout February? Would you like to have that happen for you?
Yes.
So you got to be intentional with the next 10 days. And here's my suggestion to you. Whether or not you are brand new, this is your very first meeting, or you're a senior vice president, Circle of Champions member, sitting in the front row, sitting in the reserve seats, this is for you too. I would recommend that if you're not an ETT, that you qualify for executive team trainer in the next 10 days. I would recommend that if you're already an ETT or above, that you re-qualify as an executive team trainer within the next 10 days, and do it with a 5, 5, and 5. Are you excited about all the bonuses we have with 5, 5, 5? We need to lead by example in that area. So we got to finish February strong. We got to go into the last month of the first quarter and with a tremendous amount of momentum. The biggest month that we always have over the year is March of every year, and you can build momentum into it. And here's the last window of time that I think that you need to take advantage of, is 124 days. Now, what comes in 124 days from now? San Jose. San Jose. You've heard it all weekend long about the importance of events. And I told you when I opened up my closing remarks today, where I said it would be crazy for me to tell you to do something that wouldn't be in your best interest, because if you don't win, we don't win. So why do we want you to come to an event when we're not in the event business? This is not our business. This is a tool that we use to build your business. And so if all the big leaders at ACN have built their company within a company by bringing more people to the next event than they had at the previous event, shouldn't you all do the same? Let me ask you a question. With the way that you feel right now, how many of you in this arena wish that you had more people going to Charlotte, going to San Jose than you have here in Charlotte? Don't you wish that you could do that? How many, can you think big, some of you that are brand new, and think that you can bring 100 people to San Jose? Or 200 people to San Jose? And I know what you're thinking as soon as I say those words. How in the world can I get 100 or 200 people to the next event when I'm here all by myself? It's a very simple formula. Can you find 10 people to bring 10 people? And now you have 100 people in San Jose. Can you get that done? Can you find 10 people to bring 20 people? Or find 20 people to bring 10 people and have 200 people in San Jose in June? Can you get that done? Let me ask you a question. If you have 200 people in San Jose and they feel the exact same way you do right now, where do you think your businesses all could be by the last part of 2018? Where do you think you all could be by the first quarter of 2019? How many of you can see yourselves walking the stage possibly as a regional vice president, getting that done, changing the course of your family trees forever? But you gotta take advantage. You gotta take advantage over the next 124 days, folks. Otherwise, you're just gonna click on by. And it's gonna go by without you taking advantage of this next great event that we're gonna be at in San Jose, California. I can't wait to see all of you there. So there you have it, everybody. You know all the things that you need to take home with you. You need to know you got to talk to people. Listen, you're going to leave this arena today, and you're going to get in a taxi to go to the airport. You're going to have people checking you in. You're going to stop at a gas station if you drove to fill up your tank, whatever the case may be. You are going to run into people, and shame on you if you don't talk to them. Don't tell me that you want to become a senior vice president and you don't talk to people. You're lying to yourself. Don't tell me that you want to become a senior vice president and you don't show up to San Jose in June. You're lying to yourself. It's about time to get serious. It's about time to do something big. So there you have it. The hardest part's been done for you. The track's been laid for the last 25 years, and we're so proud to say those words now. We are positioned for a purpose, folks. This is the time of open doors. The foundation is already in place, and now it's up to you. And you just need to ask yourself this one last question. Will you build your house on the foundation that's been laid over the last 25 years? See, in every crowd, there's a crew. And the crowd gets the message, the crew gets the miracle. The crowd gets the word in, the crew gets the word out. Are you a part of the crowd, or are you part of the crew? See, I want you to refuse to go to the funeral of your family's interdependence. I want you to refuse to have that happen for you. I want you to make sure that you're here long term. And you are one decision away from positioning yourself ahead of the greatest growth that this company will ever experience over the next 3 to 5 years. ACN has taken one thing away from you. Never again can you honestly tell someone that you never had a chance. This is your chance to do something special. This is your chance to make a difference. This is your chance to change the course of your family trees forever. All that you need to do is do the things that we've shown you how to do over the last 3 days. Thanks for spending the weekend with us, everybody. God bless all of you. Travel safely home. We will see you all in San Jose in June.